Hi all, and welcome to my video how to make a pointy stick. I've been asked by a lot of people over the years, how do you actually make a pointy stick? Well, that all depends on what you want the stick for. If you wanted to fight off zombies, you'd be better off with say ebony. Ebony is a good strong wood, and because it's almost black, very dark looking wood, you'd look cool fighting them off. If you wanted to point at stuff in general, I would go for a pine. It's readily available. You can find it in almost all of your household furniture. If you wanted to write your name in wet mud, dirt, even wet concrete, I personally would go for an oak, because it's a hardy wood, and if you've got money, you can find it in most of the furniture around the house. I must add, for legal reasons, pointy sticks are not toys. Just to get out of the way. Okay, right, well, let's crack on. I found this piece of pine. I found this around the house, so it's nothing special. It's basically run-of-the-mill, ordinary pine. What I need this stick for at the moment, me personally, I'm going to point at things in the garden, so I need obviously a good all-rounder to point at stuff. Yeah, so it's basic pine, nothing special. What you will need is some sort of knife. Now, if you're unsure of at any point during the video about how to use a knife, please feel free to press pause and ask someone, your carer or anyone with a bit of knowledge of knife work. I'm going to go for this very basic utility knife. Always remember to hold the knife at the handle. Never ever hold the knife at this end, because this end is blunt and that end will cut you, and obviously we don't want that. Okay, so hold the knife firmly in your hand. Obviously I'm going for the wood in the left hand and the knife in the right. But if you're left-handed, just repeat it. You're going for the knife in your left hand, your wood in the right hand, if you're left-handed. But I'm going for the wood in the left hand option because I'm right-handed. Okay, so basically hold the wood nice and firm, hold the knife nice and firm, put the knife to the wood. Now you don't want any force at this moment, all you want is some sort of contact, the nice firm grip on the wood. Now with easy strokes, push down on the wood and keep going all the way through, and you'll notice I'm going deeper at the end. Slight touch at the top, deeper at the end, because obviously this is the point where I want the actual point, otherwise it'd just be a stick. Now, once you're happy with that, I must add, what you'll notice is little bits of wood falling off the actual main chunk of wood. Now these are called shavings. Now don't panic, these are completely normal. And what you might find, after a while, you'll get a lot of shavings. Now what you could do, you could keep them to one side and give them to your hamster. Or if you don't own a hamster, you could sell them to someone who perhaps owns a gerbil. If you're going to use a lot of shavings, as in you're going to make a lot of pointy sticks, you'll find that you'll have a lot of shavings. If you find that you've got too much to handle, too much for the average hamster or gerbil, you might find it easier to, if you find a local farm, give it to them for horse bedding. Now, let's crack on. So we've got this motion there. I say, if you're unsure at any point, please feel free to pause the video and start again. you'll notice there I've gone to the point now I can't do much more with that. So I've turned the wood over. Still at the top of the wood, but turned the wood over. And I'm doing exactly the same at this end. Oh, bit tight there. Okay. Now, I'd recommend don't make the wood too pointy, because then it could be sharp. And if you point at something by mistake, you could jab it. And you don't want that, especially if you're pointing at, say a plastic bottle of milk, because you just jab through it and it make a mess. As you notice now, we're going down. We're starting to get our lovely half point, if you will, half point shape, which is nice. Just keep going, keep going, keep going. Now, turn the wood over completely. So what you've just did is on the bottom now. And turn this over, and literally, it is literally just repeat the motion. You might find you're gonna go through a little knot in the wood, which is I've just found there now. But it's completely normal. It's completely normal. Even on the softest woods, you're gonna come across a knot. Please, please, please don't panic. It's completely normal. Now, keep going, keep going, keep going. Obviously, I'm using a fairly thick piece of wood, so it's taking a while. If you use a piece of wood no thicker than, say, a pencil, this would take seconds. But as I said earlier, I'm looking for a good sturdy piece to point at things in the garden. And obviously a little pencil size pointy stick. People will be thinking, well, what are you pointing at? I can't really see the point of the stick. So you'd have to use your finger then, obviously, to point. But keep going, keep going, keep going. At the moment, because this wood is fairly thick and it's fairly knotty, I'm just going for a sort of a basic point of the wood. See that then? I nearly cut myself then. And that's not what you want. Always keep your eyes on the knife, especially this end of the knife. Don't necessarily look at that end, because that's going to be in your hand. Always look at this end and where you're touching the wood. Always. Okay. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And as you see, it's starting to round off there, which is nice. I always leave a bit of a blunt end, because, like you say, you don't want to jab anything. That could be dangerous to all parties. Now, keep going, keep going. There you go, starting to take a lovely shape. Lovely, lovely shape. I've got, personally, I own about 3, maybe 4 pointy sticks. One is purely for household only. You know, pointing at the television or the settee, anything like that. If the dogs are playing up, I point at the door so they know, oh, if I keep playing up, I'll be out. They know. For the outside work, the outside pointing, I usually go for an oak. I got a lovely oak pointy stick. I'll make sure I'll find it and show you in video too. I've stained it, and it's a very, very nice, very rustic looking pointy stick. Like I said, this one is more, not so much, I'm not looking for an actual point for the garden stick. I'm just looking for something with that end, so I could say, oh, look at that. Yeah, I have a lighter here. If I put a lighter down like that, I could say to someone, look at my lighter. Whereas if I said to someone, look at my lighter, it's, yeah, okay, yeah, it's a lighter. But if I say, look at my lighter, it's a very powerful vision, I think. And it's more, wow. You know what I mean? If you just point at something with your finger, it's more sort of everyday casual. if you've pointed something with a pointy stick, then people know you mean business. You mean you want them to look at that object. So just keep this going, keep this going. I gotta say again, see, I need to cut myself again then. See, I'm concentrating on the video and not what I'm doing. That's wrong. That's very, very wrong. Always keep doing. Always keep safety in mind. That's the main thing. Always. Now, I'm not going to go too much further with this because I think that's a pretty good point. Don't make it too sharp, because then, as I said it before, it becomes a weapon, and we do not want weapons. This is not a weapon. This is purely a stick to point at things. Like I said, okay, yeah, let's go for the lighter again. Let's go for the lighter again. Look at my lighter. You know what I'm trying to say. Lighter, stick, look at my point. Look at my point. Says it all, says it all. Anyway, I'm going to leave that there for a second. I'm just going to bring in the shavings, just so I can show you, like that there now. That's only from that little bit there. Imagine what you can do if you really went for a nice big long point. That would be a perfect little bed for a gerbil. That's lovely, lovely and soft. And I don't know if they chew it or just sleep on it or go to the toilet in it. I don't know, but I've seen shavings like this, very similar to this, in hamster and gerbil cages, and it's a win-win. It's recycling basically. Right, so that's my pointy stick. What I'm going to do later on, probably in video 2, maybe 3, I'm going to show you how to stain it. I'm going to go for a nice dark brown stain on this because of the green in the garden. It'll emphasise the point. Thanks for viewing. Please place like, and I'll see you again in video 2. Be lucky.